You breathe thousands of times a day without thinking about it. But the moment you pick up a load, or hang from a bar, or lower yourself into a push-up, your breathing pattern stops being automatic background noise and starts being one of the most important mechanical variables in your entire training session. Most people breathe wrong during exercise. Not slightly wrong. Fundamentally wrong. And it's costing them stability, strength, and joint safety on every single rep they perform. Here's what bad breathing technique actually does to your lifts, and what correct breathing looks like under load. 1. Breathing and spinal stability are the same system. This is the part most people never learn. Your spine does not stabilize itself. It's stabilized by pressure, specifically intra-abdominal pressure, generated by your diaphragm, your pelvic floor, your transverse abdominis, and your multifidus working together as a hydraulic system. When this system is pressurized correctly, it creates a rigid supportive cylinder around your lumbar spine that dramatically reduces compressive and shear forces on your discs during loaded movement. Your breathing pattern directly controls this system. A correct breath before a heavy rep, diaphragmatic, 360 degrees into the belly and sides, held and braced against, pressurizes the cylinder fully. An incorrect breath, shallow, into the chest only, or exhaled at the wrong moment, either fails to pressurize the system or actively deflates it mid-rep. Every time you exhale at the hardest point of a movement, you are releasing the spinal protection your body just built. The load that was being distributed through a pressurized system now goes directly to your passive structures, discs, ligaments, facet joints. 2. Chest breathing cuts your strength output. Most people under load instinctively breathe into their chest, shoulders rising, sternum lifting, belly staying flat. This is a stress breathing pattern, driven by the sympathetic nervous system, and it's the opposite of what generates force under load. Chest breathing engages your accessory breathing muscles, scalenes, sternocleidomastoid, upper trapezius, instead of your primary breathing muscle, the diaphragm. These accessory muscles were designed for emergency oxygen demand, not for spinal stabilization during loaded movement. When they are doing the breathing work, the diaphragm is not doing its stabilization work. The hydraulic cylinder is not pressurized. And your force output drops. Research on bracing and strength consistently shows that proper diaphragmatic bracing before a maximal effort increases force output measurably compared to chest breathing or no bracing. The mechanism is simple. A stable spine transmits force more efficiently than an unstable one. If your spine is bending under load because your hydraulic system isn't pressurized, energy is being lost to spinal movement instead of being transferred to the bar, the ring, or the pull-up rep. 3. Exhaling during the hardest part of the rep is the most common mistake. Most people have been taught to exhale on exertion, breathe out as you push or pull. This cue exists and has some application in light, high-rep training where intra-abdominal pressure demand is low. In any movement that involves significant load, a challenging bodyweight movement, or a position where spinal stability is critical, exhaling on exertion is exactly wrong. When you exhale during the concentric phase of a heavy movement, the push-up descent, the pull-up pull, the dip lockout, you are releasing intra-abdominal pressure at the precise moment the spinal load is highest. The protective cylinder deflates. The lumbar spine loses its rigid support. The passive structures absorb force they were never designed to handle. Repeatedly. Every rep, every session. The correct approach for any challenging movement is to take your breath before the rep, brace fully, perform the rep while maintaining that brace, and exhale only at the top or the bottom of the movement, at the point of lowest mechanical load. This keeps the hydraulic system pressurized throughout the portion of the rep where it matters most. 4. Poor breathing accelerates fatigue and reduces endurance. Beyond stability and strength, your breathing pattern directly affects how long you can sustain effort. Chest breathing is mechanically inefficient, it moves less air per breath, and requires more muscular effort to do so. Over a set of 15 push-ups or a 2-minute plank, chest breathing means your respiratory muscles are working significantly harder than they need to, pulling oxygen and blood flow away from the working muscles and accelerating systemic fatigue. Diaphragmatic breathing moves more air with less muscular effort. The diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle designed specifically for high-efficiency breathing. When it's working correctly, breathing costs less energy, more oxygen reaches the working muscles, carbon dioxide is cleared more efficiently, and fatigue accumulates more slowly. In endurance-dependent bodyweight training, high-rep sets, circuit work, skill practice, the difference between chest breathing and diaphragmatic breathing in terms of how long you can sustain quality effort is significant and measurable. 5. How to actually fix it. The fix starts before you train. Lie on your back, place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe in. If your chest hand rises first, you're a chest breather. Practice until only the belly hand moves, that's diaphragmatic breathing. 5 minutes daily for 2 weeks will rewire the pattern. Then apply it to training. Before every challenging set, one breath in, 360 degrees into belly and sides, brace the entire trunk, as if bracing for impact, hold through the rep, exhale only at the lowest load point. Do this every set until it becomes automatic. It will become automatic faster than you think, because the body responds to better mechanics with better performance, and that feedback loop is strong. Your breath is the foundation every rep is built on. Build it wrong and everything above it is compromised. Build it right and the strength you've been chasing has a stable platform to express itself from. Fitness doesn't need more influencers selling shortcuts, it needs better explanations. If this video helped you understand the science behind bodyweight training, hit like, subscribe to Iron Monk, and comment below with a fitness claim you've heard that doesn't hold up under scrutiny.